Well, this will be RJ acting. Hi, everybody, and thank you for once again letting me into your homes. This is number 3 of RJ Says, and I've had a lot of really great responses. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm really enjoying doing this, and hopefully, everybody's getting a little something out of it. Okay, but this week we're talking about confabulation and stealing. A couple of questions have been asked about that. I was tentatively going to title this "Would I Lie to You?" but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Confabulation, quite often known as lying. It There tends to often be a lot of reasons why. Uh, for some people, it can be an audio thing. Uh, the best example, I guess, of that is if you've ever played the game telephone, and that's where you get a number of people. You tell one person, say a sentence. The quick red fox jumped over the lazy brown dog. Those of you who ever took typing will hate that sentence. But you start with that, and you go down 5 or 6 people. By the time you get to the end of it, the words have changed. Nobody has lied, but what they have heard and what's come out of their mouths through processing is sometimes quite different than what originally went in. This is quite often the way. With me, it hits me audio-wise. I can hear something, and if I don't quite hear it fully, my mind will then take the sounds I hear and make them into a word I know, which means I quite often have to ask people to repeat things because words that sound like other words do not have the same meaning. Now, that's a form of confabulation. My brain is actually lying to me. Now, when it comes to dealing with other people, outwardly lying to other people, sometimes, again, it's the same thing. It's repeating part of what you know. And sometimes, people tend to forget and they add a couple of embellishments. So, it's not always a conscious will to lie. Sometimes it's just basically a misunderstanding. So that can sometimes happen. Um, Now, then we were talking about lying. As in my past, Nate had asked if did a lot of people accuse me of lying as I grew up? And yeah, it was known to happen. I would say something, say I had been told something, I would repeat it as if I knew it for a fact. So basically taking what somebody else had said and putting myself as not so much as narrator of a story, but as a person who knew really what was going on. That sort of happened. Um, and it makes people not trust you. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit. Now we're getting into stealing. Stealing is an interesting thing because that means, now in my brain, a lot of times, especially when I was a kid, I would make myself at home anywhere. Your house, my house, didn't matter. Your yard, my yard. The whole world was a wide open place. So neighbors would find me playing in their yard by myself or whatever when they got up in the morning, depending on what I wanted to do. Um, and the thing sort of went if I saw something there and nobody was using it or playing with it, like especially a toy when I was a kid, then, well, it must be for anybody. So my whole concept of ownership had to be learned because in my mind, ownership basically extends to as long as you have that item in your hand. And when you put it down and you're no longer using it, somebody else can. That sort of thing. Again, we have to learn what ownership is. I had a problem giving away stuff. Sometimes I still do because really, if anyways, it's one of those things. So picking something up and just hey, this is cool, and putting it in my pocket. was something I would do without thinking. Now, here's the thing. Morally, we know stealing is wrong, and we have to learn. So, it's all part of the learning experience, I guess. And let's see, what were the other questions? Have I ever stolen something without thinking? Well, yes, it was, again, as I explained, more or less just it seemed to be the way of the world. There's something, and hey, it's for anybody. Would I see an object and suddenly find it in my hand? No, I've always known exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, so that hasn't been a problem. But did I ever think about taking something, and I guess know it's wrong, and take it anyways? Yeah. However, I challenge you to find any neurotypical kid that maybe at some point hasn't. Maybe it's just part of growing up. It wasn't a habit with me anyways. And the last question in there was, how does that work? Well, hopefully I've explained that from my point of view. I don't know if this has been helpful to anyone, and of course, I'm doing it in one take because that's the way we roll. Really, telling you no lies, folks. Hopefully this is useful, and hopefully not too long. The last one I put up was 13 minutes long and took me 2 hours to upload. Oh, the wonders of technology. All right, folks, that's RJ Says number 3, and any questions or comments, please leave them with the page. If you want me to address something or anything like that, please just leave me a comment, and we'll see what we can do. And now I'm going to go back to acting. This is RJ acting. Bye now.